it's Friday, which means it's time to deploy. Jim and I are back for another fun-filled week. How was your week, Jim?
Yeah, good week. Good week. God, just trying to think. Don't even know what happened now. It flew past. How about you?
I've been surviving the heat. That's what I've been
Yeah.
doing. For those of you who don't know, we are in. Oh, well, this isn't surprising to anyone. We're having a heat wave down here in Australia. So, surprise, surprise, like having snow in Canada, I guess. But
Yeah.
yeah, we've been enjoying that, and the bits haven't melted, so all is well. Awesome. All right, well, let's go ahead and get into the news. So last week I teased at the fact that we would have some more webinars, and indeed, I'm a man of my word. So here are some more webinars for you to check out. On February 11th, we're going to have the team talking about a new feature that we have available in Octopus Deploy entitled Config as Code for Runbooks. So for those who aren't aware, Runbooks was probably the #1 feature that people wanted config as code for. So we will now give it to them. And so if you want to join the webinar for the announcement of this feature, you can go ahead and do so. So make sure to check that out. On February 13th, we're going to have a series of 101s. So these are kind of like an introduction, kick the tires sort of thing of Octopus. And we have started hosting these, one for APAC, one for Europe, and one for America. So if you've got a time zone that you find is better aligned with you, feel free to join me. And I will be kicking the tires of Octopus along with you, and I can show you demos of pretty much anything if you'd like, and that's on February 13th. And then wrapping things up for February, we've got another webinar with Liam Mackey talking about his new white paper entitled Kubernetes Delivery Unlocked. So as we mentioned last week, bit of a the tome of Kubernetes deployments. So Liam will be joining me talking about that. Be awesome. All right. This is, speaking of Liam, we have another article from him, another excerpt from his white paper, choosing the right CD tool for your Kubernetes deployments. You got a tool in mind before we go through the list here that you might use for a Kubernetes deployment there, Jim?
No, I don't do any Kubernetes deployment. So
Okay, I was going to say
do
beside
not know.
kubectl, but there you go. Yeah. What, Argo, I guess?
Yeah,
Possibly
Argo maybe.
Octopus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. So in his white paper, he talks about a whole bunch of things, including some of the tools you can use for your Kubernetes deployments. So obviously, he's laying out the lay of the land. So CI/CD tools, GitOps tools, and then any dedicated CD tooling. Obviously, we're going to mention Argo. Obviously, we'll mention Octopus as well. But this is a continuation of the series of blog posts that you'll see from Liam up on our blog, which is awesome. And another blog post I got recently posted was this one from Sean: how to assign an IAM role as an EKS pod identity for the Octopus Kubernetes worker. So IAM roles are pretty important, obviously, if you're deploying to anything that's hosted specifically in Amazon cloud services, and EKS is no exception. So EKS is the cluster service for Amazon. And excuse me as I die here. And so Sean talks a little bit about how you can go about assigning an IAM role as your pod identity. So this is the identity, the IAM identity that is used to run your workloads via pods in EKS. So that you'll set this up via the Kubernetes worker that we have available. And he says that you can have two methods to assign IAM role. One is the IAM roles for service accounts, and then the other one is the EKS pod identity. And so he goes into detail about how to configure each one, including EKS control, or EKS CTL, depending on how you call it, and setting up the IAM role, and then showing screenshots of what that looks like in Amazon services, and then setting up the service account if you're going in that direction as well. The other alternative is, of course, the pod identity, and this is the alternative method. Alternative method. I can't talk today. Of how to set this up. You'll do this via a config, which is there, and then you associate the pod identity with that via the AWS command line tool, and away you go. Awesome stuff. So another article there from Sean if you're all curious about how to do that. This is a video that I recorded earlier this week. This was entitled Octopus for GitHub Copilot in 5 minutes, and this was a fun video that I put together very quickly about how to utilize the new Kubernetes, the new GitHub Copilot extension we have. So I basically did a sort of very quick demo, less than 5 minutes, of how to use this thing, what it looks like in the context of VS Code. So I'm showing things like here, the dashboard, things like that. And I'd been asked to do a video of this, and so I said, sure, why not? And so yeah, you can check this out up on our YouTube channel. It's also posted to our LinkedIn page as well. And if you want to check out the extension for GitHub Copilot, you can check it out up on the GitHub marketplace, which is at github.com/marketplace. There you go.
That
Awesome.
one's got AI, not Kubernetes. It's got one of the two always.
Yeah, I know. It's either one of the two, so that's okay. So we got a few posts here from folks up on LinkedIn, which is why I've included it here. So first is Charlene, who's the field marketing manager for APAC. She's based in Australia and talking about the Sydney meetup for Argo. So if you're all curious, you can check this out. Join us for pizza on February 12th. And Regina will be there to present the latest updates. You can join via RSAP in the meetup that we have. We have a lot of groups via meetup. Another one here is from Bob, who's our field CTO, and talking about his talk, Canary deployments are a myth. True progressive delivery occurs via open feature. So open feature is this sort of open standard that allows you to denote features that your service provides. And the idea here is that it will allow people who are implementing features to describe them very easily. Or you can self-describe, etc., and expose them that way. The other one that you may have heard of is open telemetry. These sort of CNCF ones typically have open prefixing the name. So there you go. So Bob's going to be speaking at his at the event that's co-located at KubeCon Europe, which we will be at, and you'll find that at octopus.com/events. We showed you this last week, so we'll be at DevOps Live and we'll be at KubeCon Europe as well. Both are at the same location, the XL London, so you can check that out. So Bob will be part of that, and he's got a new talk coming up, which is awesome. And then something worth mentioning all the time is we're hiring. So we actually have 2 job requisites available, one for a DevOps manager and one for a senior software engineer. I don't know if this is for your team, Jim, but let's see here.
Not
This
for
is
my
the
team,
DevOps.
no.
Okay. So the DevOps manager we have, this one's based in Israel. So for those folks over in Israel, if you're looking for an exciting opportunity, this would be something worth checking out. And I think the other one is in Israel as well. Yes, that's right. So the senior software engineer, I would imagine this is for the Argo team, possibly. If not, definitely somewhere on the Octopus team. Absolutely. So we are hiring. You can find out more of our jobs listed up on our website. If you go to octopus.com, you'll see our new lovely shiny new webpage here. And then if you go up to the company section here, you'll be able to check out our careers page, which is here. And so if you go to /company/careers, you'll see a page that looks like this. You'll find a link to our handbook, very highly touted amongst the community. But there's those 2 openings I mentioned earlier, along with other ones based in other parts like Australia, etc., UK, Germany, Netherlands. We're looking to hire a lot of folks around the world. So there you go. Awesome stuff. And then finally, to wrap things up, we actually have a new release available of the Argo CD image updater. So the image updater, it can check basically new versions of the container images that are deployed with your Kubernetes workloads. And basically this tool will automatically update them to their latest allowed version via Argo CD. So this is a post from Costas talking about that. We have a brand new release of the Argo CD image updater, companion controller for Argo CD for automatically updating container images in Argo CD applications. And so you can check this out. It's available up on Argo Labs, and you can check out the detailed description here if you want to find out more about that. But that's something that Costas recently posted about, some updates there. So support for other namespaces apart from Argo CD. Preserve field order when updating customized files. Customize is a tool you can use for doing clever config management with Kubernetes. Updating multiple images when using Helm value files. Helm is you can kind of think of it as like a config tool for Kubernetes in some respects. Allows you to do installations to clusters, etc. that way. Actually, we have a Helm chart for Octopus itself. So if you want to run Octopus in Kubernetes, you can use our Helm chart for that. Updating Argo CD applications when autosync is disabled. Support for Argo CD multi-source application set. Improved release process and unit testing, and then where you can report issues if you have any issues in the latest release. So there you go. That's a new update from Costas on the Argo CD image updater. Awesome stuff. Any updates from your team? I always have to ask because you never know, right? So
No, nothing from our team this week. What are we
I
doing?
haven't seen anything on postcards yet. Like, are you guys going to post something there again? Because I liked last year we showcased some of the things that your team was doing around scalability. Anything that you guys are?
Yeah. No, there's nothing new happening at the moment. we'll have a little bit more to say soon, I think. So yeah.
It's always, you always say that. More to say. All right, soon, later. Awesome. It's like teasing and teasing. It's awesome. All right. Anyways, well, that's the week that was. On behalf of Jim and myself, happy deployments, everyone. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.